Hey everyone, welcome back into Preferred Frenchies, hanging out with Izzy and Mac Daddy's litter here. Everyone's doing great. We're at like 9 weeks old and we're hanging out outside. We got some puppies running around. Just an overall beautiful morning here. And today I want to talk about their DNA, kind of their results, and talk about each one in general. We really haven't gotten into too much detail, I guess, with each puppy, just kind of going through since we were waiting a little bit. It took a little bit longer than we expected to kind of get those DNA results, and we finally got those in. So today I'll go through talking about each puppy and kind of give everyone a good feel about their DNA in case you were interested. But overall, as far as like from a conformation standpoint and from a DNA standpoint, it's very hard to find this quality of a puppy around right now. I mean, with that really stocky, perfect head, and just that beautiful conformation is really hard to find. I know there's tons of fluffies out there. I know it's becoming more and more common, but it's still pretty difficult to find one with great structure and great conformation. So, which is kind of what we're looking to do here, keeping a smaller puppy, but still keeping that nice round head, the good solid bone structure, big blocky structure, and overall just having a phenomenal temperament as well, which is super important for pet pups. Of course, and it just makes a world of a difference when, you know, whether it's your breeding program, having a good temperament in your program, or, you know, as a pet home, it makes a world of a difference. So I want to jump into today's video. Starting off, I'm going to start with microchips. They look so similar. It's going to be too hard for me to try and depict one to another and trying to separate them. So starting things off, we got Icon, one of the two boys from the litter. Beautiful head structure. You can see his pictures on our website as well, but that nice round head, and he's just got great conformation. Like he's like a little stocky tank rolling around, and just a beautiful pup in general. Right now, I mean, it's warm here. They're all just kind of taking it easy. Everyone's kind of hiding behind me in my shadow. Sun's coming this way, so if I move a little bit, everyone's just kind of hanging out right behind me. So but yeah, really a great looking litter and a great looking pup there to start things off. I want to grab his DNA. Icon is an Isabella and tan new shade carrier, no copies of cream. He'd have a copy and a half of tan, so ATA, 2 copies of testable B, 1 copy of cocoa, 2 copies of blue, and no cream. Okay, moving on, we got Ivory here. Ivory is one of the 2 Isabella new shade and tans. There's 2 Isabella new shade and tan puppies in the litter. They just have a lighter shade. Basically the difference is those 2 copies. You're basically getting 2 or 1 extra strand of cocoa with the puppies that have new shade. So it gives them a little bit of a lighter color, and you can do a little bit more with the DNA. Like you can go a little bit further with it, so you'd be almost 1 generation ahead. Comparing the 2 between an Isabella and an Isabella new shade. So she's one of the 2. She is probably the smallest girl, I would say. One thing I really like about her is her short back. She's very short and stocky, and just overall just a really good conformation, good head structure. I wish she'd perk her ears for you, which you can see the pictures as well on the website, but just overall a beautiful standing girl. She's a special one. She's got that new shade with her, and then each one of these pups carry new shade, but she would have both copies, so she would actually be an Isabella new shade. Ivory is an Isabella new shade and tan without any cream. She has a copy and a half of tan, so ATA, 2 copies of testable B, 2 copies of cocoa, and 2 copies of blue, which is DD. So, okay, moving on, we got Iris. Iris here, she's also one of the smaller girls. Beautiful structure, just overall beautiful ear set. It kind of got Izzy's look. So Izzy has that really nice head structure, the short and stubby ears, and just a phenomenal looking girl here. It's hot, so she's panting pretty good here. But yeah, I mean, a beautiful girl. Again, that's Iris. And she's a lover. She's a little bit more on the relaxed side, loves being held. She'll just kind of hang out. And in general, she's just a little bit more on that laid back side of things. She's an Isabella and tan, new shade carrier, 1 copy of cream.
and she would be ATA, along with 2 copies of testable B, 1 copy of cocoa, and 2 copies of blue, so DD, and then 1 copy of cream, and she'd also be L1, L4. All of these puppies would be L1, L4.
This is Indigo right here. Indigo is the other Isabella new shade. She is, see if she'll show herself off to you. She's probably one of the bigger girls, so there's definitely a difference in size. And just big structure, and you can definitely see the coloration difference with her compared to like your Isabella. She just has that cream look, like it's just a very light, it almost looks like a luxury color. So beautiful girl. She's an Isabella new shade and tan, which is really no surprise to us. I mean, we kind of saw that early on. So, and her name's Indigo. And I'd say she's probably the most laid back out of the girls. She's just pretty chill, pretty laid back, loves her people, but she's super confident. Like, she's got her head up high. She's got her, you know, kind of got everything going for her as far as confidence from that standpoint. And just a stunning girl to start things off, or kind of to, from the get-go, I guess. From the start, she's always been kind of the confident one, the one that checks everything out first.
Indigo is an Isabella new shade and tan with 1 copy of cream. She's got ATA, 2 copies of testable B, 2 copies cocoa, 2 copies D, and 1 copy of cream. And she's an L1, L4.
And then moving on, we got India, one of the smaller girls as well. So India here, she is actually adopted at the time, and she's going to Orange County. So congratulations there for you. Very excited. I mean, from a structural standpoint and everything, she just has that really nice ear set. The structure is really what does it for me. She's got that nice short back. And then her temperament's just, it's phenomenal. She's outgoing, but not too much. Like she's just a very, very sweet and people-oriented pup. And she'll kind of just be content where she's at. So more leaning towards that. And there you kind of get that head shape, that structure. They're popping up beside me.
India's an Isabella and tan new shade carrier with 1 copy of cream. She has ATA, 2 copies of testable B, 1 copy of cocoa, 2 copies of blue, 1 copy of cream, L1, L4.
Okay, next up is Indy. So Indy here, she's also a beautiful looking pup. These guys, I mean, this litter in general just has phenomenal structure, which is very understandable. I mean, if you look at Mac Daddy and then you look at Izzy, obviously they're gonna have beautiful, stunning pups from a conformation standpoint. But their personality, hey Piper, Piper's hanging out wanting to check out the pups and get all the attention. But beautiful girl, beautiful structure, and just overall, just a stunning pup here.
Indy is a Isabella new shade and tan, no cream. So she's a new shade. She has 1.5 copies of tan, 2 copies of testable B, 2 copies of cocoa, 2 copies of blue, and no copies of cream.
Okay, moving on here, we got Miss Isabella, one of the chunkier girls. She's a gorilla. She's got wonderful structure when it comes from as far as her bone structure. Bone structure is phenomenal. Big, stocky, blocky girl. I want to see if she can show herself off to you. She doesn't really want to stand. She's tired. But overall, just phenomenal structure and head shape. She's a showstopper for sure, and just a beautiful girl.
Isabella is an Isabella and tan new shade carrier with 1 copy of cream. Her DNA is as follows. She's got 1 copy, or ATA, so 1.5 copies of tan. She's got 2 copies of testable B, 1 copy of cocoa, 2 copies of blue, 1 copy of cream, L1, L4.
Okay, moving on, we got Mr. Iggy, last but not least, one of the 2 males. And his ears aren't up yet, so as you can see, they're kind of floppy. He's got a beautiful head though. I feel like he's, with his structure and kind of where he's at, he's just got needs a little bit more time for these guys to go up. So both Mac Daddy and Izzy have their ears up. It's just a lack of calcium, really in general. They're teething right now, they're growing so fast, and they'll literally, it just takes a little bit of time for them to kind of gain that back. So
Iggy has 2 copies of tan points, so AT, 2 copies of testable B, 1 copy of cocoa, 1 copy of blue, so 2 copies of blue, so DD, and then he'd be considered an Isabella and tan new shade carrier without any cream.